the Weirdos and Friends.
How you been, my boy?
Man, not too bad, not too bad. Can't complain. I'm stressed out by what they did to Diddy, man.
Yeah, they gave him 3 years. That's fucked up.
You probably
I'm
can't find one person right now in the whole system for their first charge ever. Diddy ain't really been to jail like that. That got sent to prison for that charge.
We should be good.
I am surprised that he had end up getting some time though. Like 3-4 years. I was surprised. I thought he was gonna end up walking for real.
I mean, by law, I was expecting him to walk. Like
Yeah.
that don't make no sense.
I
But
mean,
no,
if
he was
Jeff
still
Davis,
guilty. He was still guilty on some other charges though, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
transportating for prostitution. But see, the crazy thing is what the judge said. Oh, he sat in the trial and he basically heard the testimony on his conduct. But the thing is, you just the judge, you not the jury. It's not your job to assess the evidence and be like, oh, you guilty of this. It's the jury's job. The jury already assessed that evidence that you're talking about and acquitted them for it. Like with that fight video with Cassie in the hotel room, the statute of limitations had been up on that shit for years. The only reason why it was even allowed in court was because of the RICO case. The RICO allows you to go back, basically to paint the timeline, because they was trying to use that for the shit that they got to prove, fraud, coercion, or fear, or whatever. So that's the only reason why that tape of the domestic dispute with them two was even admissible in court. Now separate the charges. Now say you just got transportating for prostitution. That's the only charge you got. You don't have the RICO. That video wouldn't have never been allowed in court because it's prejudicial. So with them piling the RICO into that case, and basically he got acquitted for that. So that bundles up the video, that bundles up all the testimony for domestic violence, it bundles all of that shit up. And he was acquitted for that. So when sentencing comes up, how are you basically bringing evidence for a charge that I was acquitted on into what you sentencing and factoring it in to what you sentencing me for now?
But that's the thing though. Like you can't turn a blind eye
Hold on,
to
hold
the
on.
things that
Somebody playing it out loud or something, cause it's a feedback.
um
is it me?
Is anybody like watching the live or something, or got they? Cause that shit, it's a feedback in it.
My shit could be loud.
yeah, if you
I'm
if
gonna
you're
mute. I'm
watching
gonna
the
mute right now. Tell me if it goes away.
All right. Somebody just randomly. Yeah, I think that might have been you, cause it's not doing it now, cause it was some feedbacking into the audio.
yeah, but I mean
It's fine there.
they not turning a blind eye to the things that they saw. Because just like the judge said, even though you apologized to Cassie, you still went and did the same thing to somebody else. So I don't find you, you know, innocent or apologetic. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you mean what did he do the same thing to somebody else? Talking about when he
Like
hit the other
like
girl?
him put yep.
Okay, so we can agree he got a domestic problem.
Yeah.
That shit we domestic, alcohol, drugs.
Well,
There's three things that he could have done besides prison. You could have gave him classes for all of those he had to complete while on probation. Prison is not the answer for everybody. That man 50 something years old. Now, the violence and all of that shit against women, that's cool. I mean, that's not cool, but you know what I'm saying? That's cool. You add that
I'm
in
about to
there,
say,
whatever the
whoa,
case
you can't
is.
say that.
No, I mean that's cool. You add that in there for factoring it, but those are whole different cases. If you bring them like separately, how you gonna sentence me for, basically domestic violence because you got videos of domestic violence on the statute of transportating for prostitution, bro? I swear, it's probably not too many people that's in the federal system, bro, for just that charge.
But it's just more so everything compiled on top of each other. If he don't get no years, John, they look crazy.
But
It look
exactly.
crazy.
But the thing is though, by law, you're not supposed to do that.
The guys, Jeffrey Epstein got a year of house jail in 2006 in
And
his
who's to
first
say he
conviction.
even did that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I said what I said about Diddy before. I always felt like Diddy was evil anyway. Like
Well,
so
charge him with that. Charge
at the
him and
end of
punish
the
him with that
day,
evil shit.
he, he probably do deserve to sit down for a while. I'm not saying for how many years, but I feel like he does deserve to sit down for a while.
Yeah, he definitely got what he had coming to him. Most definitely.
For what though?
That's the lifestyle, though. I feel like that's just the lifestyle that he was in, you know?
He ain't the only one doing that shit. But
He definitely
Yeah.
not the only one doing it.
but y'all said he deserved to sit down for what though? Like what? Why?
I mean,
For,
see,
for
I just
them
said, like I
drugs, for
said, I
them
always felt
drugs,
like this a long time
For
ago.
three for three
I
years
mean, this,
though, like it was
but I
for,
mean,
probation.
I
for
mean, come on, he's on camera doing what he did, and you think that's the only time he did that?
You talking about the hotel room?
Yes, you think
yeah.
that's the only time he did that, bro?
And he was paying and he
You
paid
gotta
them off to not share that shit out. Like it's a lot, bro. It's like a lot
Exactly.
of
Like
the movie. It's not
you paid
just
for that stuff not to go out, bro. That's come on, you doing what you doing. You think he only did that once? Like, no, he did that plenty of times, bro. It's just coming
I
to the
don't.
light. And
Let me
then the
tell you, I
stories, even some of the other stories you done heard about him, and we don't know if they true or not.
that's
But
the right there,
but
right there,
thing.
Juwan. Stop.
but
I'm gonna
That's the
stop you
thing
right
right
but
there,
there.
bro. I'm gonna
but
stop you right there.
one thing
All
we
of that
know
shit
is a
that y'all
true.
saying that he
One
did
thing we
is
know that's true
allegedly.
for sure though is what he was
his
One,
putting his
bro,
His
you
hand on
name,
hands
can't.
on
women.
them women.
How
baby.
you how
We
you
know that they was he know that he was hiring them men to come in there and do that, do to them other
Something about
women.
some
So
type of infatuation with baby oil.
okay, so all right. All of that y'all just said is why y'all would justify him getting that time, right? That's why y'all feel like he
no,
deserved to sit
bro,
down.
it's the whole situation. Like they had to go in this man house, search for all of this shit, but it's not just like it wasn't just an open and shut case. Like they did find guns, they found all
It's
types of
also not
stuff.
a it's also not a public case either. So we don't have all the details and all the evidence. It's not like it was on court TV. You know what I mean? Like we don't
No,
have
they
all
had
the
they let it was some reporters in there. They couldn't bring cameras, but they were doing like basically verbatim, word for
yeah.
word. Some like yeah, they was so the evidence, yeah, the drugs and all of that crap. Yeah, they had all of that, but where are the charges for that?
In
I
my
grew up in
opinion,
I
he
grew up
better
in the
go
Just
ahead,
real
Jeff.
quick, like it must have been wild, man. Whatever he was doing, because I grew up in the world of domestic violence and drugs and drug dealing. I grew up in that world, man. And unless you had like hella priors or you were on violating your probation, nobody ever went down for 3, 4 years for that. Maybe a year and some probation, probably out before a year and probation for 2. I've never seen anyone go 4 years for that. So there must be a bunch of evidence that's not being reported that the public hasn't seen, and the reporters just aren't saying it because they don't. It's the narrative doesn't fit the narrative. But I mean, there just must be more if you got 4 years. This can't just be, he was making his wife have sex with these prostitutes and he was also beating on her. It can't just be that.
No,
That's that's
they
that's
found they found drugs, they found guns, they found all types of other shit. There's
none
all
of
these
that
other
shit
people
is
standing up.
none of that shit is was he convicted of. He was convicted of 2 counts for transportation for prostitution.
Yeah.
So the guns, the drugs, the video, all of that shit don't matter. It don't matter. That shit went to the jury already. The jury said it didn't matter, so it don't matter. That's why he got acquitted.
It
I
looked
still
like it
feel like
mattered to
they
me.
added. I feel like they
But
still added some time because of the whole Cassie situation, though.
exactly. And what is that called? That's prejudicial. If you're gonna put this video in this case, that's not a domestic violence case. That's way past the statute of limitations. This video didn't happen last year. It happened some years ago.
Wait, but
Way
they
past the
extended.
statute.
Wait, no, in New York they extended the statute of limitations for DV.
No, 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 no. No, they didn't. He would have been charged with it. They couldn't charge him with it
Prejudice
because
though.
see how
But
this
the
how they got around it. They
I could
used
have
it as
swore.
evidence because when you trying to basically prove a RICO, you need to prove force, fraud, or coercion or fear.
All of those
So
things took place
they
there.
was using that tape to say this was the fear aspect of it right here.
I mean, he did pay for them to not release the footage. He did like all of those things took place in this situation. Everything you just said took place in that situation, literally.
So yeah, he bribed the people for the tape not to get out. But during cross examination, that was in both their interests.
I could swear they extended that shit. I think it was
I think you
around
talking
the
about like
R. Kelly
sexual
stuff,
assaults and shit. They extended that. They didn't
something about.
extend.
Would that be kind of like tampering with evidence though too?
No.
No, because it was before. It happened before it was evidence. Tampering with evidence is something that they already had.
I mean, just because it
And
ain't got it, don't mean it ain't evidence though. Because at the end of the day, it would still be evidence.
well, it's not evidence until it's an investigation. There's no investigation, so it's not
Right.
evidence.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So she told them not to call the police. She was in on trying to get the footage and the video and all of that crap too. It wasn't like they trying to make it seem like, oh, his people were protecting him and this and that. Well, none of his people there. It was her, the security guard. He had rough Diddy ass up already. Diddy ain't want no problems. He asked her, "You want to call the police?" She said no. So at the end of the day, the only person that was protecting him at that point was you.
But if you just got snatched up and beat on, why would you just be so quick to be like, yes, I wanna press them? There's fear there.
You
So
watch the
so
hold
why
on. Have
would
you
nobody
watched
want
the
to get out
Vlad
of that fear?
interviews though? Have you watched the Vlad interviews of the prostitutes that were paid to have sex with Cassie?
Yeah, I did. Yep, yep. The
Yeah,
two black dudes, yeah, I did.
yeah, yeah. That shit's funny, kind of.
That shit
Just
is
talking, just
crazy, bro.
hearing him.
And,
He was just a cuck, bro. He was just straight up a cuck. He just wanted to watch.
and
Mm.
them ain't
That was
even
his thing.
victims. They said it themselves.
Yeah,
They tried to use them saying those are his victims, but they not victims.
but it's not like I mean, was it a situation where he was making her do it against her own will? Because I mean, she was there. She
Those
handed them money.
Wait,
She's the
hold
one
on,
who did the
hold
transaction.
on, hold on. So, John, that's your man's? Diddy's your man's?
No, I'm just talking about the law. Period, bro. I don't give.
I don't know, cause you would literally said I'm just heard of what they did to my man. So that's your man's,
He did
and
say
No,
he out
that.
no,
here
no,
and
no,
he out here
no.
beating on women.
But see, the thing is, all that junk that they were saying about him. I mean, is it really true?
I think a lot of it is true.
I think a lot of it is true, bro.
You just had
And
a
that's
whole
why
federal. You
they
just had
didn't
a
go
whole
light on him.
federal case that they
I think a
lost.
lot. I think
They mad about that. If
hey,
Bro,
any of that shit was true,
the
present
prosecutor
certain
was shooting
evidence,
for
then it ain't
11
true.
years. The
they wanted a
prosecutor was
life
shooting for
sentence, right?
11 years
They wanted a
at
life
the,
sentence.
I
Came
don't
in
know,
there and
bro.
made a fool out of the Southern District of New York.
I
After
Nah,
just,
y'all
I
I
felt,
won,
think I think they still kind of did what they wanted to do too, because I think part of it is still a smear campaign for his name and his
oh yeah,
legacy, which
yeah.
definitely put a whole dent in that. So I think they still got part of what they do, and he still got to serve time. So
yeah, he got what he deserved at the end of the day. I don't care what nobody says.
He's
Injustice
serving
or not.
real time too. Real
See,
time.
Odell, you ain't no real American, man.
It ain't got nothing to do with being a real American. It has to do with being a
Yeah,
shit human being.
Then if
we
it's
should be
about
able
being
to pimp
if
our
you an
women.
American, then you think everybody deserves their day in court, right? He ain't get his day in court for that.
he
You going
did.
off?
He
No,
We
got
he
his
don't
didn't.
day.
need,
He had
listen,
days
listen,
for it.
and this is what we need to stop. Okay. When we see things happening, fuck the legal system. We see it. We see it happening. It's
Yeah, but
happening in our
this ain't China,
face.
my boy.
This is America, dynasty. We should be able to beat our women. We should be able to
No,
pimp our wives out to have sex with
Yeah.
prostitutes
no,
if we want. We
hell
should be able to
no.
use as much baby oil as we want on a daily basis. This is America, bro.
I'd be damned, bro. I'd be
It's
damned.
America,
If you
Odell.
caught on camera hitting a woman for any reason, I don't give a damn what reason it is. Your ass should go to fuck to jail.
And you
I
know
don't
what
give a
they still
damn.
gonna need?
But see, that was different because he literally like chased her down and start dragging her and all that shit. So that's different, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your man's though. I'm just saying.
No, but at the but see,
You would
That's
stick up
you
for
double.
Diddy,
that's
but
the that was the
you would
that
stick
was the
up for
thing.
Diddy
That's the
for this
thing.
shit.
That's the thing when it comes like to that video. You're gonna get one side of the story. You know what I'm saying? That's the only
Oh,
side.
but we not doing that shit.
No, we
The
know
Not
the
man,
we
doing
know
what's
the
that.
so
end
funny about
result.
this
We
though?
not
Hold on.
doing that.
What's so funny? Let me say something real quick. What's so funny about this is he's like, man, my boy Diddy, it did him dirty, too much time. Charlie Kirk gets shot for just having a conversation. He's like, man, racist piece of shit, man. What the fuck? There's no video of Charlie Kirk dragging a bitch around a hotel room. You know what I mean? All
Look,
Charlie
None,
man,
Kirk did was have
no.
I'm
Your
I'm
This is
justification is crazy, bro. Your
this is unbecoming,
justification
my
is
nigga.
man
bro. Look,
wild, bro.
I'm not taking up for Diddy. What I'm taking up for
It
is
sounds
you
like it
trying to
though.
sentence him, bro, for a case that he did not have his day in court for.
So, do
He
you
been
feel
in.
like he deserved to be sitting down in that cell or no?
For the charges that he was convicted of, no, not really.
Here we go.
So, you think he should be still out here running free?
He did enough time, bro.
He did
Listen to what.
enough.
Listen, transportation for prostitution. That ain't have nothing to do with what happened in that hotel room. Those things are not even related.
Either way it
How do
go, he
you?
was still either way it go, he was still found guilty of something. He was involved in that.
Yes,
Understandable. But if
So
that's
he
the
got
case,
charges
then
based on that too. So what are we
but
talking about? He got to sit
sentence
what's
down.
him
the
like you would sentence anybody else that was charged with that same shit, bro.
But
what's the highest count you could get for that?
we acting like this is just some shit he did one time. This was multiple occasions, bro, that he was paying for this type of shit and doing
Mm,
this type of shit.
He
mm.
was his
didn't
lifestyle.
he
Over
didn't have multiple.
this is over years and years and years, bro. This is over probably like decades of this type of stuff happening. And you talking
Right,
about he
but
don't deserve this type of shit. But he
okay,
been
but
doing this shit for
if
over
you guys are
decades.
gonna charge him now, say transportation for prostitution is an act. Now, I go do that act, and you just grab me, and just off the top of your mind, this could be my first time doing this shit. You don't know. Just off the top of your head, oh hell no, this ain't your first time doing this shit. I'm finna give you such and such and such and such. You only caught me one time. That's one act. I have to go
But they
do this.
literally
No, there is
this
tons
they
of
going
evidence
over
of him doing
evidence,
it
nigga.
more than
What?
Then
once.
why didn't he have
Multiple
more
witnesses.
counts? Why didn't he have more
Multiple
counts? Because
witnesses.
every time you transportate for prostitute, that's a different charge. Count one, count two. You can't just put, oh, you did this 20 times, you got one count. That doesn't make sense.
It
Come
wasn't
Transportation
just
on,
for
Cassie
man.
though.
prostitution is an
There
action,
was
bro.
another chick though. It wasn't just Cassie, right? There was another chick
It
who was
was
also a
several.
witness. Yeah, there
It
was
Right.
was
another
50
chick who was
Cent
also a
baby
witness. They
mama.
went there and
50 Cent.
they the chick, right? Did he had a gun or some shit and like
Hey,
in
you
their
can't say
woods.
that word. We gonna have
I
to go
can't.
over
Oh, my bad.
We gonna have to go over this.
yeah, man.
I
Listen, if you
know.
gonna say that word, just say grape or something, man. You
You could
can't say
just
that
cut it
extra.
up later, right? Or we're live,
We
I guess.
live.
Yeah.
I know with him just having those two counts and shit, what the damn prosecutors wanted was outrageous. Talking about 11 years. That's crazy.
Bro, that should be the least of his fucking his worries, bro. Him getting 4 years plus what? He been in there what, two already? So six
Or
years?
no, he been in there like what, 14 months?
Why is that so
I
crazy?
mean,
But
in
then the
his head,
Charlie
he
Kirk
might,
situation is like, fuck Charlie Kirk.
That's what I'm so
and
confused about.
and
That's
that's
what you got
and
me
see,
through.
and that's exactly why I said, oh, and that's your man's because you did that to me on that episode. Like, oh, but this is and he doing, but then you condone in that.
But
Come on, man.
we
Uh-uh.
talking about two different things. We
You
talking
talking about
about
somebody who actually on camera doing things to somebody who's not. They don't have nothing like that on this man.
Believe
they
that.
both was on camera doing shit.
He was on
No.
camera. He was on camera saying shit. Diddy was on
In
camera whooping
conversation.
ass.
He whooped one ass on camera.
I said he
One,
was on camera whooping ass.
one.
You sound just like all of these you sound just like all of these dudes that's sticking up for Young Thug, bro. That's exactly how you sound. Move the
I'm just talking about.
goalposts.
I'm listen.
Move the goalposts for the people that you like, or because he your skin color, move the goalposts for
I'm talking about this
him.
this case, bro. I'm not talking about Diddy or what he did. I'm talking about
But
how he was sentenced. Y'all stretching it out to, oh, you think it? No, no. Hold on, slow down.
Well, then what's the
You did
reasonable
that to
time frame?
me.
What do you think is a fair time frame to be locked up for what he did? What would you think is like, oh, it's 6 months? That's good enough. Or like, what do you think is reasonable?
I feel like the 14 months that he did, and another 2 to 3 on probation. Make him take them classes, the drug shit, and pay a little money, and you out of there.
But just
It's
because he got 4 years, that don't mean they gonna make him serve the full 4 years if he on good behavior.
80% is required, is what I read. He has to serve 80%, no
I
matter
think
what.
that's I think that's on violent offenses though.
This was not a victimless crime, though. There were victims involved, and I think that's the difference maker. That's why he got so much time. If you let him out back into the public, he could offend again very easily. He has people around him. It's the type of person he is. That's what they've
And
decided in court, not me.
and not even just that, bro. They keep losing these cases. They keep jumping the gun on all of these cases, and it's making them look bad, bro. So
Bro, they
and
little
and and
lawyers.
all- and and in all honesty, I would rather see him go to jail. Why? Because my five, and Jawan, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Is because if the youth sees these people practice what they preach too much, they're gonna start believing it and feel as though they can move in that way even more. So if you see Thug getting off, he doing all this shit, Dirk doing all this shit, getting off, Diddy doing all this shit, getting off.
Nelly
It
and
it
Nelly soon probably too.
it shows that I could do all this crazy shit and then I can beat the case. Like I can do it. It's okay if I'm doing this shit right now because when it comes to the case, I might not go down. But if more people are bolted down for the shit that they're doing, less people are going to attempt to do them for crimes, bro.
I mean, Diddy was transportating for prostitution. I don't think it's gonna be too many young niggas out here buying no ass.
And he was
That's
beating
not
them.
that's not all he was doing, bro. Stop it.
We talking about all he was charged for, Ordell. Don't give me no allegations. We talking about
Look
his
at him.
charges.
There
Look
is
at him.
no allegations, John. He had guns, he had drugs, he had women, he had it all. We've seen it. We've
So
seen it
why is
all.
he not
I don't want to
convicted for
hear.
firearm
I
charges?
don't want to hear about what he's convicted on. I just want to hear what he was saw with. He better be lucky that that's all he got. Period.
Hey, Odell. Never mind. I'm gonna talk to you in a minute.
Exactly.
No, you want to no, say what you gotta say. Nigga, that's what we here
So,
for.
so
Is y'all
Real
niggas
shit.
like trying to incriminate yourself tonight or something?
no,
What the fuck is
nobody is
happening?
doing nothing. I'm just saying, like Diddy is lit. I didn't bring this shit up. All I'm saying is
What the fuck is going on?
Diddy is getting what he deserved, bro. That's
But you
all I'm
saying
saying.
like, oh, he had guns, he had this, he had that, but he don't got no firearm charges. It's the reason for that. If they went in your
Bro,
house and found
it's
guns,
in his shoebox. It's in his shoes, in his cloth. Like all of this shit is in his
We
possession.
can't
It's in
forget
his
though. Hold on, but John, we can't forget though that Diddy put the hit out on Pac too, so he should be getting way more time than he's actually getting.
when
That's
he
a
gets his
fact.
day in court for that.
Yeah, he should get his day in court for that, but he's not going to. But I mean, like, it's not something we know, but we know. Like Candace Owens would say, you know what I mean? We don't know,
True.
but we know that he
But see,
actually fucking put that hit out.
and the thing is, it's not what you know,
That
no,
is
it's
a
what you can prove.
conspiracy. I don't know.
It's what you can prove. They got dude saying that yeah, Diddy paid this
No,
and
I know
Diddy.
that, right? But in the court of public opinion between you and me and everybody else that can listen to what's going on around us, sure, not in court, but to what we fucking see and hear on our own, he did that shit. So it's like, fuck him. Give him 20 years. Fuck it. 3 years isn't enough.
I think it's
They
a lot of things that he's done that we don't know of. And I
Like
feel like
Justin
him getting and I
Bieber.
feel like him getting this time is probably a blessing for him.
yes,
Cause he
exactly.
could cause he
Precisely.
could have got more.
going to prison ain't a blessing for nobody.
It's a
But
blessing he didn't get more.
It's a blessing for his
Exactly.
victims,
they
right?
they tried him. They tried and failed. He had his defense. He had his day in court,
I'm saying
and
like, this sound like your man's.
they didn't believe that shit. Like no, because I watched. I literally, bro. I literally watched the trial and the way that they was talking, and when the defense came up and asked legitimate questions, And if you sat there and you listen to it, bro, you'll be like, oh, true. Because you admitting to getting on there, ordering the specific dude that you like, basically. So you was enjoying it, so you wasn't really being trafficked, and you did this for his birthday on your own accord. He didn't ask you to do
I
that.
I forgot who I was having this conversation with, right? I don't know who it was, but it's like this, John. If you was, and you could see the text messages how it's broken down. If you like this, like if you like somebody, right, and you doing whatever you can to get their attention, and they not showing you no attention, the only way that you can get their attention is this one specific way. You want this a person's approval. So you are one, you gonna continue to do the things that you have to get their attention. That's why if you look at the messages, it's very like they're back and forth with each other at first, but then Diddy gets real cold shouldered to her, not really talking to her that much unless she's talking about doing that stuff. So that's the only way that she can get acceptance from him. That's why this shit
So, so the
is
thing,
it's very deeper when you start thinking about like human mentality and shit, like the mind, like go deep in the mind and how the mind works, and it's very easy to manipulate people.
but the thing is, Odell, yeah, it is very easy to manipulate people, but especially at his status. But the thing is, sometimes, and the whole world needs to really understand that junk, bro. You got to stop bailing out adults, male or female. That's a bailout, bro. You grown as hell. You know better. You ain't gonna do something that you don't want to do. And if you
That's
doing
not
something that you
true.
don't want to do, just because you feel like you want to get into somebody's good graces, you got to take responsibility for what comes with that. That's not him. Why should
No,
he
no.
go to prison because you want to do whatever you want to do to be around me?
No, no, that's not what I'm speaking. Just on people's like on the mentality on how people are coerced into doing things. So if and just like all the other women, they say the same thing. These women are not used to living this lifestyle. So in order to, it's the same reason why women stay in bad marriages or men stay in bad marriages because they don't feel as though or they are receiving something that they cannot keep when they leave. It's not that they just accepting this bad relationship for no reason. They're not just getting beat on or smacked on for no reason.
So you mean to tell me greed made you stay?
But okay, so
Nah,
it could be that, but it could also be that you are what's that shit called? What's it
Stockholm
called when
syndrome.
you huh?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome, bro. You at some point, you that shit becomes ingrained in you to be something totally different that you are now
John, why
okay
you
with what
making
the
that?
fuck is going on.
Stockholm syndrome.
Why are
Yeah,
you sitting here acting like these things don't actually exist? People are literally kidnapped
they
and
they
care about the person that kidnapped them.
they do exist,
Yeah, that's when they
but
the
not in this
victim fall in
situation,
love
brother.
with the person who doing the bullshit to him, basically.
Yeah, not in this situation though. Not in this
But but
situation.
but even if you take a person like a licensed therapist and have them go over this shit like psychologically, I guarantee you they will tell you that there's traces of all of these things.
The coolest weirdo.